Hi, I'm James from Brighton Accommodation Agency. Today we're going to talk about what happens when there's arrears on a property from a landlord and a tenant's perspective. From everyone's point of view, for a tenancy, no one wants arrears mounting up. If you're the landlord, you want to make sure the rent's paid on time, but if you're the tenant, you don't want to risk something that may cost you more money or end up with you having to leave your home. The first question we always get asked when rent's going to be late is what the process is. All the answers in the short term can be found in the tenancy agreement. For a Brighton Accommodation Agency, we build a 3-day grace period into all of our contracts. So if the rent isn't paid for up to 3 days, this isn't considered arrears. We do allow this window for bank holidays and weekends. Our advice from both landlords and tenants, and especially for us as agents, is if you're going to have any problems paying your rent, pick up the phone, send an email, open the conversation. The only problems that can't be solved are problems we don't know about. If we're in conversation with you and conversation with the landlord, it's possible for us to smooth over the process and work together to make sure that we can bring the arrears down and get everything back on track. After rent's been late for 3 days, it's considered in our contract for it to be late. When late rent has to be chased, there is a fee added to the account for the time spent from our staff chasing it, and this is almost certainly the case across all agents and most landlords as well. These costs can mount if there's lots of chasing or if any guarantors have to be written to, and if anything goes to court to pursue funds, these costs can get really high. It's at this point after chasing that landlords really start to ask us questions about recovery of funds and also recovery of the property. And these are the points when tenants start to get very worried as well. At this juncture, it's possible to serve either a Section 21 or Section 8 notice to recover the property, but this does always require going through the courts if the tenants haven't left, and can be really hard on the tenants. Even though this discussion of the results of arrears is brief and we're stopping through it, what we really want to say is how important it is to keep the conversation open and work together to solve the arrears and make sure that everyone can stay in their property and that rent's paid. An example of a problem that's escalated is that we had a tenant recently who lost their job, and we tried to get hold of them and pursue this and try and resolve the problem. When we eventually got hold of them, they'd already gone 2 months in arrears, which made the problem very difficult to solve as we're already fighting from the back foot. On the other hand, we've had a tenant recently who has been delayed in payments because they've changed job. And as part of this, we've been working with them and the landlord to bring a payment plan and get things back on track. To summarise, really, the most important thing, if you think that you're worried about arrears or that there may be a late payment, pick up the phone, speak to us, whether we're your agent or you deal direct with your landlord or another agent. The most important thing is to make sure that we can all work together before this becomes a bigger issue that could be expensive or even lead to you having to leave your home. From a landlord's point of view, it's always good to be in contact in this way and to work together with the tenant to bring the arrears down and make sure that your property stays occupied. I'm James from Brighton Accommodation Agency. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.